Luton got a shock, City rolled on and Everton were robbed. The Premier League is back, baby. Welcome to the Corner Flag. I'm Amogh.
I'm Prashant.
And I'm Azeem.
Haha, there is a new person on the Corner Flag today. It is Azeem Banatwalla. Welcome to the show, Azeem. How's it going?
Yes, very nice to be on coming to the red half of Manchester for this podcast.
Yes,
many podcast derbies have been had in many strange leagues of questionable legitimacy, with many ankles being broken in the process. But enough about 2019. Very happy to be here.
Are we going to say that Azeem Banatwalla to the Corner Flag is here we go, done?
Here we go. Personal terms agreed. Medical pending.
Someone's going to come and hijack it. Definitely someone's going to come and hijack this transfer.
Chelsea's going to come and hijack it. Chelsea's the only team that hijacks deals now.
Why do you think I hijacked that moment itself?
Yeah.
See that little
Apple TV पे टॉड बोली ने नया शो लॉन्च किया है इड्रिस एल्बा के साथ. उसका नाम भी हाईजैक ही है. टट्टी शो, एक नंबर का टट्टी शो.
I thought it was called Todd Lasso. Sorry, let's move on.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice one.
Very nice.
Very nice. All right, so before we get into it, a big announcement, and Azeem, I don't know if you know this, but as of today, the Corner Flag is on YouTube. We are finally on the YouTube bandwagon. हम लोग
Took you like 3 years.
Took us very long.
Very long.
But we
quite some
basically
time.
मैं बहुत लेजी था, फिर अभी मैं आज सोचा कि थोड़ा लेजीनेस कम करते हैं, तो अभी यूट्यूब चैनल लॉन्च किया है. सो द पॉडकास्ट विल बी आउट ऑन एप्पल पॉडकास्ट, स्पॉटिफाई एंड ऑल द रेगुलर पॉडकास्ट एप्स, बट ऑल्सो ऑन यूट्यूब. You can access it on YouTube Music as a podcast, and you'll also see YouTube Shorts and slightly longer YouTube videos on our YouTube channel. So go over to @CornerFlagPod on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Azeem, और कुछ बोलना पड़ता है because you are the YouTube expert in this footballing community with 442.
Yes, please just smash likes. You have to say smash likes because apparently that does
smash the like button.
Yes.
और क्या बोलते हैं?
Please smash like. Please subscribe. Do the subscriptions. We have tried very hard to get people to hit subscribe, but we are stuck at 20,000 or close to 20,000.
You are stuck at 20,000. As of now, we have 18 log. So
that's great start.
But yeah. So thank you for the 18 people who have subscribed. 2 of those are Prashant and me. So thank you for the 16 people who have subscribed and made this number increase. Also, let's get into it. So क्या चल रहा है, Azeem? How's it going? You're in Goa right now.
Yes, I'm in Goa right now. Decided to get away for a little while, and exciting to watch the first game of the season. Very obviously, I'm sure we'll get into it and preview the game. But it's oddly I mean, I say this almost every year now, but this is the most excited I've been in a while.
Right, it is really exciting. अच्छा, after a long time, United have had a decent transfer window. जिसको निकलना था वो निकल गया है, जिसको आना था वो आ गया. एक्चुअली हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत पंटर लोग हैं. एंथनी मार्शियल है अभी तक, अभी जाएगा क्या पता.
You still have your Eric Bailly and his one working knee lying around somewhere.
Yeah, that's no way to talk about Donny van de Beek.
You can't see. Isn't it ironic that his name is Dhoni?
Prashant, to Dubai mein, as usual, because we are recording remote today, you have had the chance to join us back again.
I swear to God, when you mentioned, Azeem, that you're the guest, and you said we have a guest on the podcast, I thought that's probably going to be an introduction for me. But I said, okay, no, that's probably not the case because I've been here.
See, the thing is, we could have recorded in the studio today, but अभी Liverpool और Chelsea का opening game था, तो ऐसा blockbuster fixture के लिए we have to get the Chelsea fan on the show.
Of course,
like we have to make an exception. So that's where we begin. Where we begin because yes, Premier League is back. सब लोग का anxiety चालू, सब लोग का depression चालू, all great. But we'll start off with the Chelsea-Liverpool game because arguably the biggest box office, big ticket fixture of this
definitely
first game
big
week.
ticket. Yeah.
And that's only from the Liverpool side. Chelsea is not big ticket anymore.
Exactly. I was like, तू big ticket किसको बोला रहा है भाई? हम लोग 4, like the commentator said, there were 4 cultures who were managing the club last year. So, मतलब, there's something clearly wrong.
Wasn't there a great stat where I think Klopp has faced 9 Chelsea managers in the last how many ever years?
Wow.
Yeah.
9 Chelsea managers. That is the state
That's insane.
of your club. It is
I'm
ridiculous.
so afraid that I'm going to be sacked as a fan also. That's how bad it is.
Get a
So
great
at least,
severance.
yeah.
That's all
Right.
that matters. Todd Bowley को बोल मेरे को 15 million चाहिए. He'll give it.
Basically, I'll tell him I'm sitting in Dubai. Bhai, तेरे को पैसा आएगा. Sack me, you'll get it.
Because the game
I
ended
think you
1-1.
just need to be. I think you just need to pretend to be a winger, and Todd Bowley will sign you at some point. Just go
Is
for
it? Shit. Okay.
The big
That's
no,
just
you
all
need
I
to be,
needed.
but you also need to be black. That's the other thing. You also need to be black. So that is तो अगर वो manage कर सकता है.
Hey, come on. Moving on to the game. So,
It was moving on to the game. It was 1-1. Luis Diaz getting the opener for Liverpool and Axel Disasi getting the equalizer for Chelsea. Yeah, I want to know one thing. And Prashant, you tell me as a Chelsea fan. Azeem, you tell me as a fan of football in general. ये fixture कभी 3 points लाएगा क्या life में?
नहीं.
कभी when was the last time either of these teams managed to beat the other?
892 days apparently.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's been a while.
You weren't
That
ready
is
for that.
But that is the easiest way to make money is to bet on this fixture being a draw. Easiest money
basically.
you will
But
ever
now
make.
that you have mentioned it, among the moment you put money on it, it will be some 4-3.
That's true. Don't listen to me for betting odds. मैं कुछ भी बोल देता है. But I feel like that's the easiest money that you will ever make. Let's talk about that goal. Great ball by Salah, man, for that first goal.
Yeah.
Oof. And this is what I like about Liverpool with the business that they've done. And Mukesh, who's the Liverpool fan on the Conflag, who's not here today. In the last episode, he was crying about, our transfer window is not great. We wanted to get Caicedo, but he's going to Chelsea. Kuch nahi ho raha hai. I was like, Bhosadi ke, you've got McAllister, World Cup winner. You've got Soboslai, who's a Hungarian wonder kid. That's a great transfer window for you, and you've got rid of all the deadwood. What are you crying about? And this was McAllister at his best. Lovely ball to Salah, who puts in that, what a peach of a pass for Luis Diaz to finish.
I think it was easy for him. There was something, I think, so for me, the first 20-30 minutes of Liverpool playing was very rigid. Like, rigid meaning in a way that, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. And then, I mean, again, I'm going to compare it again with Chelsea because that was a fixture. But in this case, Chelsea had a spot, they just wanted to stay tight within that. Liverpool were slightly more fluid. They played that, and that whole drama behind Salah trying to get the first goal.
Yeah.
It's the first game week, first goal, first fixture of the season. He's going to get a goal. There is a drama playing in someone's head. So, that little... maybe it was like an understanding from the club itself saying that, let's try and get him the first goal itself. Let's try and get the ball to him. Because those attempts were made.
Yeah. No, Salah was definitely on form. He in fact had a goal disallowed as well for a marginal offside, which I think was the correct decision.
The second one,
He was definitely offside. But on the other side, Disasi was the one who equalized for Chelsea on his debut. Prashant, where the fuck has he come from? Kaun hai ye?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. But there is. Do you guys? Do you watch Bob Ross?
No.
You know who's Bob Ross?
No.
Okay. You guys got to go to YouTube and check out Bob Ross. It's beautiful. Okay. It's just satisfying painting videos. Okay. This fellow has made a living out of it. There's a documentary also on Netflix. Check it out if you must. But he says there's no such thing as a mistake. It's all happy brushstrokes. Diaz is happy brushstroke that just landed up in Chelsea at this point. Because if he saw that goal itself, it was the right time, the right spot. It was exactly like a happy brushstroke. It was not something that just happened to be a mistake.
प्रशांत तो ठीक है ना लाइफ में सब चल रहा है ना अच्छा मतलब शादी वादी हो गया तेरा सब कुशल मंगल सब एवरीथिंग फाइन नो
Are
you missing
just should we order adult coloring book?
Happy brush strokes पे किधर से पहुंचे bro? What is going on?
Just watch Bob Ross. You'll thank him.
No, so it did look like 90% of that Chelsea team was making their debuts, and 90% of those players, we have no idea who the fuck they are. And I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Chelsea spending because we knew they had a bloated squad last season, Azeem, and we knew that if they had any chance of coming back to the position that they are used to being in, they had to undergo a massive transformation. Getting Pochettino in was the first step towards that. And I feel like their transfer window started off really well. They started clearing out players left, right, and center. Like even Edouard Mendy, who we thought was a good keeper, was cleared out to Saudi Arabia. Koulibaly was cleared out. Everybody was. Kepa's gone now.
On a loan, yeah.
So काफी सारा clear out हो गया, and you thought that Pochettino, as a manager who likes to have a very thin squad, is getting what he wants. But then, as the players started going out, more unknowns started coming in, and I feel like it's the same thing over again. Azeem, where do you think this is going to go? Like, what is the whole point of this transfer window for Chelsea?
I don't honestly. It's very hard because there have been so many. It's been this revolving door of happening of people coming in, and literally with like Koulibaly, for instance, within 9 months he's come in and gone.
Yeah.
Which again I think speaks to like also it was signed under a different manager, different owner also technically last year at the start of the season, or was Boli in at the start?
No, it was Boli.
Boli.
Yeah.
It was Boli.
Okay, it was Boli. So I mean the thing is that if you actually look at their net spend numbers, it's not terrible. Like they have sold and raised a lot of money. They sold Havertz for 60+ million. They got 35 in for Kovacic. They got quite a few people out of the door and got like significant sums of money for them. And what I was reading was what's quite interesting is that under financial fair play, even though the spends are amortized over the absurd 75-year contracts that they are offering to all the players, the income is shown in one shot. Even though the money from the income may be coming in installments, they are allowed to claim it. It's like claiming some income tax. Like they are allowed to claim all the income towards their FFP this year. Which is great for this year, but they are fucked next year. Yeah. Because next year also they're going to have to sell a lot of players.
Correct. But isn't this exactly what happened with Juventus and their entire issue with Serie A and why they were docked all those points and fined heavily? Because this was exactly what Juventus also did. The same thing, because they kept amortizing the transfers that they were bringing in over a period of how many ever years, 5 years or whatever. But all the sales that they were making, they were claiming those incomes in the same financial year, and that is what is wrong. So I feel like City का 115 केस आ गया है. I feel like Chelsea का भी number आने वाला है.
But Chelsea का if they get dock points also, you're like चलो ठीक है 8th से 12th पे गिर जाएंगे. You know, you'll take one season like that. Where they're like, चलो ठीक है, they're just braced for this one sporting penalty that will come. मतलब 15-20 मिलियन क्या है यार उसमें ऐसे हाँ मतलब काइसेडो का आधा लिंक मिलता है उतने में, you know. So it's
Let's talk about Caicedo then. Let's talk about Caicedo because this is the most bizarre. Actually, it's not. Jack Harrison to Everton, and we'll get to that later. Second most bizarre transfer saga of this transfer window because he agreed terms with Chelsea way back when. Brighton agreed to a fee that Chelsea were about to pay. Then Liverpool came in last minute to hijack the deal and offered them more money. Then Brighton were like, oh, take it. Now we'll accept Liverpool's deal because Liverpool's giving us more money. Caicedo almost had his head turned. Then last minute said, नहीं मैंने Chelsea को एक बार commitment कर दी तो मैं खुद की भी नहीं सुनेगा. तो Liverpool को fuck off. But Chelsea have now again have to pay 4 million more over their original bid to actually get the deal to go through. तो वो भी हो रहा है. It looks like Caicedo is going to Chelsea, but it also looks like Lavia is going to Chelsea as well. Another player, another midfielder who is linked to Liverpool.
Yes.
But this is our theory, which is that instead of doing all this faltu ka accounting, why didn't Boli just buy Brighton instead?
Yeah, exactly.
He could have got them for much cheaper.
That's Correct. What. Definitely. He wanted first Potter. He wanted the players. I think...
वो लंदन क्लब का एक अलग सा ही अंदाज होता है ना. वो ब्राइटन मतलब क्या, वो तुम्हारे बीच पे भी मिट्टी नहीं है यार, पत्थर है. व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ यू? सो आई फील दैट इज द फॉर एन अमेरिकन माइंड. Let's be very clear. He's American. He's not the smartest guy. For an American mind, if he sees something like that, he's like, wait, you have a beach, but there's no sand. How the fuck does that work? No deal. So I guess that's the way.
So are you saying he has provided Brighton 250 million to add sand to the beach?
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I'm doing you a favor, guys. Just fix your beach, then we'll think about fixing your team. So पहले beach का देख लो, फिर आगे का देख लेते हैं. The other big news, of course, is Pochettino. Now, in his first game as Chelsea manager, I thought Chelsea played really well. The formation that he played, the 3-4-3 with Chilwell and Reece James almost acting like wide midfielders, was a joy to see. And I feel like, and this is for all the FPL nerds who are listening in as well, I feel like James and Chilwell are going to be fantastic buys in your FPL team. Because Chilwell looked like he was going through every attack that Chelsea was making. And he almost had he had a goal disallowed, and he had more chances on goal as well. So, Prash, in terms of Chilwell, are you finally about to see this man live up to his potential? Because he was signed from Leicester because he had a lot of potential.
I don't know, man. He's very promising. He's got moments, but again, in the same game, there were moments where I still think he wasn't. So again, I'm going to compare him like how you compared him with James on the other side. Yeah. I don't think he's got that same level of pace or same level of some energy. Something's missing over there. Like he just gives up too easily over there.
Yeah.
But I think maybe this season might just be a little. He might have more moments. I think I'm not going to say he's going to be like the best, but there's definitely going to be a better version of him this season than anything else.
Yeah, I feel like Enzo dropping back into defense to help the defenders out is going to be very, very important for this formation to work out, because Chilwell and James are just going to be bombing up the wings, and they're basically going to be attackers. You cannot look at them to give you a defensive shift. They are there primarily to push the game forward and put in those crosses for Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku whenever he gets fit.
Or whoever fills in that spot over there. They're going to keep feeding that ball in the middle over there.
I was telling somebody, Azeem, Nkunku is Chelsea ka Anthony Martial.
Oh yeah, but he was so at least Martial came and scored few goals. Nkunku was just arrived dead on arrival only. Which was very unfortunate.
वो arrival के पहले dead था. फिर he came back from the dead and then said, हाँ चलो, now I'm fine. I'm coming to Chelsea. Came to Chelsea, got injured and back again. So
now he is dead on arrival, I think.
It's ridiculous.
But poor guy, man. You feel for him. Like itna hype, and he's such a good player as well.
He is a good player, yes.
But so now, obviously, when Caicedo arrives, so the midfield too, if he's going to persist with this 3-4-3, is going to be Caicedo and Enzo. And then you have Reece James and Chilwell on the flanks, and then you've got up top Jackson. You've got Sterling, and you've got who's the third guy that you're going to be relying on over there?
You can have Mudryk. Actually, you can't have Mudryk. You can't rely on Mudryk, but you can.
Not yet, huh?
You can put in Gallagher also there. Gallagher was playing in the back.
Gallagher might, but he's been used more centrally. At least in this first game, he was used a little more centrally. So we shall see.
Yeah. Right, but do you think he still knows? Sorry, just quick question. Do you think he knows what his best 11 is, Pochettino?
No chance.
I feel like he's got about 50,000 players. So to come down to 11 from those 50,000 is very tough. But I'm hoping by the end of the transfer window, he'll have a fair idea. And if in the middle of the transfer window in his first fixture, he can go toe-to-toe with Klopp's Liverpool and get a point, I think that's great news for Chelsea. That's great news, especially for a team that's so young, that's so inexperienced, and that is a team in transition. And it can only get better from here, I feel. And I feel like Pochettino is the best manager to be in that position right now. So
Amogh,
if you're a Chelsea fan...
You stop fucking jinxing shit right now. Okay?
I'm not.
You move to the next topic right now. Fuck you. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Stop
if you're a Chelsea fan, be happy that Pochettino is there.
I'm mad happy, but this seems a little thoda extra. Now let's go on. This seems like properly jinxing this. This never happens. 3 साल के लिए Chelsea shit सुन के आया हूँ मैं. This is not right. Okay.
I'm just trying to be as neutral as possible, yeah. But ठीक है, तू बोल रहा है move on, so let's move on to Pochettino's old club. Let's go to Spurs, because Spurs went to Brentford and came out with a 2-2 draw against the Bees. It's classic Spurs.
Dude, I love that
all
game.
over again.
I love that
great game for the neutral. But oh my God, it is classic Spurs all over again, because no matter what you do to Spurs, Spurs will just always be Spurs. उनका कुछ नहीं होने वाला है लाइफ में.
No chance.
तरक्की का चांस ही नहीं है स्पर्स को.
Did you feel bad? Yeah.
So go ahead, Azeem. You feel bad?
No. I mean, you just feel bad for them, because this has been their how is your club identity over decades to be this? Like we talk about Manchester United, our identity is counter-attacking, transitional, direct football.
Yeah.
Liverpool's identity is fucking gegenpress and intensity, and Chelsea's identity is by 70,000 players. How is Spurs' identity to just be entertaining football but net loss always?
it's I feel bad because it does look like now they are finally ready to move on and just like turn over a new leaf because they've gotten rid of Kane, the biggest distraction, the biggest transfer saga that they were going through. That has been dealt with. They've got a new manager who's got a lot of good karma behind him. Ange Postecoglou, he comes with a lot of promise. Who basically looks like a Greek Australian Sam Allardyce. Let's be honest. So if Spurs start playing Route 1 football, we know that there is a little bit of Sam in him. But the Postecoglou era has begun. Now, lots of interesting bits around Spurs. I don't know if you guys saw the game, but I found these bits to be really interesting. एक तो kick off at the Brentford Community Stadium was delayed because उधर पानी नहीं था.
Yes.
मतलब ये
I was coming to this.
मतलब किसके लिए पानी नहीं था?
क्या वो
There was no circulation around the water apparently.
वो उन लोग ने स्पेसिफाई नहीं किया. मैं बस बोल रहा हूँ इधर बॉम्बे में बैठ के I don't expect a country like England to have water shortage. Like ये DY Patil Stadium में हो सकता है. ये ब्रेंटफोर्ड कम्युनिटी स्टेडियम में नहीं होना चाहिए.
Bro, I'm telling you, इसमें भी ना Ivan Toney ने बेड डाला हुआ है. 10 मिनट डिले होने वाला है.
Yeah, absolutely. He's making the most of his situation with odds of 4:1. So, but so the kickoff was delayed. But when the Spurs players came out, the first thing that they did just before kickoff is they went to their fans who were in the corner, the away fans section. They all ran to the fans and started applauding the fans. So this was before kickoff where they had a nice moment with the fans. And then they did their pre-match huddle in front of those fans in that corner. Now, this is not something I have seen from a Premier League team before, and especially not Spurs. But you can tell that Postecoglou has told his players that you need to start making a connection with these fans because fucking hell, they have supported this shit club for so long. You have to give them something. पता है तुम लोग ट्रॉफीज नहीं दे पाओगे, थोड़ा तालियां दे दो उन लोग को, थोड़ा तो दे दो.
And अभी रिचार्लिसन तुम लोग का स्ट्राइकर है तो प्लीज कुछ करो. But what do you think? So great segue between Chelsea and this thing. Do you believe in the Lukaku to Spurs rumors? Because it makes complete sense for all parties right now.
Oh my God.
It makes sense.
I am so on board with this because मैं जब भी 2 साल पहले 3 साल पहले जब भी FIFA 20 वगैरह खेलता था ना, तो करियर मोड में I always take Spurs और Newcastle और sometimes Everton. Like I always take these teams and like चल तुम लोग को Champions League में जिताते हैं types. That is my scene in career mode. As a Spurs player in one of my career modes, the first transfer I made was Lukaku. He fit so perfectly into that Spurs team. He scored so many goals. मतलब मैं ही score कर रहा था, but he scored so many goals. He fits so well. Also, I honestly want Lukaku to play for every Premier League team there is. He's almost halfway there already. The only thing he's doing is he doesn't play for direct rivals. तो यूनाइटेड के लिए खेला तो लिवरपूल के लिए नहीं खेलेगा, चेल्सी के लिए खेला तो आर्सेनल के लिए नहीं खेलेगा, एवर्टन के लिए खेला तो लिवरपूल के लिए नहीं खेलेगा, वेस्ट ब्रॉम के लिए खेला तो क्या बर्मिंघम वुल्व्स के लिए नहीं खेलेगा. बट स्पर्स इज फाइन. स्पर्स इज नॉट कनेक्टेड एनीवे. So that is definitely a team
can't go to Arsenal now. So that's
he can't go to Arsenal. Yeah, but that's okay.
But dude, it's insane that dude, I have never seen any club have stage protest saying कि please मत sign करो ये player को, which is what Juventus have done. And considering he told Inter Milan to fuck off for Juventus, they are like, no thank you, take your fuck off, go somewhere else.
I am so happy that has happened because I was just speaking to Akash yesterday. Akash, Everton fan, fellow Lukaku trauma survivor. Me, United fan, also Lukaku trauma survivor. तो हम लोग bond कर रहे थे इस पे. And we were just bitching about Lukaku. Like, what a turd person he is. तेरे को याद है वो Players Tribune article आया था उसका? Have you read that? मैं जब वो article पढ़ा ना, oh my God, I got goosebumps. I was like, fuck, what a player, dude. Like, he's come from so much hardship. Like, I remember that line. You know, when I kick the ball to shoot, I want to break the net. I want to break, like, everything. all my anger is in that shot. I was like, oh fuck, full feels.
Yeah.
And then you see how he behaves. I'm like, you go back to where you came from, dude.
Yeah.
You don't deserve this.
ये theory का practical हल कर रहा है.
Correct. So I'm like, yaar, he deserves everything that he's getting because when he came to Chelsea, he was like, oh, I have unfinished business at Chelsea. वो तो business unfinished ही रह गया. फिर वो बोला नहीं यार, I actually feel like I want to go back to Inter because I felt at home there. फिर वो Inter गया. फिर वो Inter से बोल रहा है नहीं, actually I want to go to Juventus. I'm like, थोड़ा तो शर्म कर.
No,
What was the excuse there? Unstarted business.
Exactly. That is absolutely right. So let's go back to the Spurs Brentford game, right? Just sticking with Postecoglou and his methods. First goal, Maddison free kick, lovely delivery by the way. Another one for the FPL nerds. Lots of assists coming from him. I feel.
I don't know about that, but okay.
I feel thoda overpriced, but I feel like if you can afford him when he has a easy run of fixtures, I think he's a punt to go for. But Christian Romero heads that Maddison free kick, scores the goal, gets a concussion just before, and then obviously heads the goal, so feels a little more shaken. Postecoglou takes him off, right? Romero doesn't want to come off. He says he's fine, but Postecoglou is nahi, tu aa. Then nicely holds him in an embrace and explains him why. I'm pretty sure he said, nahi, I need you, dude. You're an important player. I need you for the rest of the season. Ye pehla game hai. Tu chill maar. You've done your duty. You've scored a goal. You're fine. Romero's pissed off, right? At the end, we realized that Spurs didn't use this substitution as a concussion substitution, which would have been a free sub, because they filled in the wrong substitution card.
Of course.
Matlab, is that not the most Spurs thing that you have ever heard?
It is most Spurs thing.
कोई और क्लब ये नहीं कर पाएगा, ये सिर्फ स्पर्स ही करेगा. And it was absolutely perfect. It was absolutely perfect that this happened with him. And
yes, it is a classic case in this case of form is temporary, but Spurs is permanent.
Spurs is permanent. I'll tell you how permanent Spurs is. You can take the boy out of Spurs, but you cannot take the Spurs out of the boy, because Harry Kane made his debut in the German Super Cup final and Bayern lost 3-0 to RB Leipzig. And Thomas Tuchel had to come out and say, I feel sorry for Harry Kane. This is not how we play. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
They're crossed now. It's over, dude.
But I feel like Harry Kane also, and this is my theory, of all the clubs that Harry Kane could have gone to this year or next year, I feel like he decided to go to Bayern Munich this year because he is a football man. He is a guy who has lived in the Premier League. He has lived in a competitive league. He is a football fan. And he doesn't want the Bundesliga to be a one-horse race. So he said, मैं मेरा Spurs का curse लेके आएगा Munich और Borussia Dortmund, you owe me. So I think that is what Harry Kane has done.
Amogh, you're writing scripts here. Spurs ka curse.
Spurs ka curse. That is the title.
That is the title.
That is the title of this episode. Right, on that note, let's take a quick break. On the other side, we'll talk about City, we'll talk about Arsenal, we'll talk about Everton, and we'll do a quick preview to the United game, which is kicking off later tonight. See you on the other side. Welcome back to the Cornflag, everybody, and as always, we begin the second half with some questions. Questions with the Cornflag.
Dude, answers also, huh?
Okay, the first question is by Fazil Abbas Banatwalla. He says,
Arey Azeem, tera bhai.
I don't know also.
Fazil has been writing into us very, very regularly, and every time he writes into us, I'm like, there will come a day when I will have Azeem on the podcast and Fazil will have a question and the worlds will collide.
Yeah, I should tell you right now, I am Fazil.
Oh my god, your friend of the flag.
Amazing. हाँ, तो Fazil का क्या question?
Fazil says, do you see Kane doing well in Germany? Because we were just talking about Kane.
We were just talking about Kane. So Azeem, let's go from Banatwalla to Banatwalla. Do you think Kane will do well in Germany?
I mean, it's very hard as a striker to not do well for Bayern Munich because, I mean, listen, they survived with Eric Choupo-Moting last season. So the bar is very low. for a striker at Bayern Munich. So, but I would expect him to do well. It's going to take him time, obviously, and yeah, I mean, it's very easy to just make memes and laugh at Harry Kane, which is what we're going to do because we make content out of this stuff. But at the end of the day, listen, the guy isn't the second highest Premier League scorer of all time without reason.
Yeah.
So I think it might take him a little bit of time. He needs that first goal. And once that first one goes in, I think then it'll start flowing. And he's got great supply around him.
Yeah.
So I don't think it should be a problem.
I just wish that Sadio Mane stayed at Bayern Munich because we could have finally had the Sane, Kane, Mane, Marathi Manus Zaga ho front line. But it wasn't to be. But we'll have to deal with Sane and Kane. So he's got great support at Bayern Munich, and also I feel like it's not even going to take him too long. I feel like as soon as the Bundesliga starts, first match only he's going to score a goal and he's going to be up and running. So he's definitely going to do well. And regardless of what we said earlier on in the first half, I don't think he's actually going to bring the Spurs curse. He's going to power Bayern Munich to another Bundesliga title because nobody else can come close. And Harry Kane is like Azeem, you said, he's a fantastic player. He's not the second highest Premier League goal scorer of all time for no reason. वो kill करेगा.
Yeah, for sure.
But अगर Bundesliga वो लोग नहीं जीता, तो then curse is fully.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. Then the amount of fun we will have creating that content is going to be next level.
You
So
can
I'm
take the boy
almost
out
wishing
from
that
Spurs.
happens. Yeah.
The next one's by Krishiv25. He says, Mukesh, why didn't Klopp bring on Caicedo and Lavia from the bench? Oops, sorry.
Unfortunately, Mukesh, the
Mukesh
Liverpool
is not
fan,
here.
is not here. So sorry, Krishiv, your little taunt at him has gone unnoticed, but not underappreciated. We love you for that.
It's well done.
I honestly thought Caicedo should have actually come out
For the Chelsea
when the
game.
referee comes. No, when the referee comes to take the ball, when the teams are walking out, Caicedo should have come that. And the Premier League productions the promo also should have been Caicedo ka Swayamvar.
Oh.
They should have just done live tug of war between the two teams to see who gets it.
I'm thinking full Mission Impossible now. Anthony Taylor should have pulled out the mask. It's actually Caicedo over there. Should have gone up to that level also. वो भी कर सकते हैं मतलब.
There was all I'm saying is there was a great opportunity here to solve this transfer saga once and for all. Fabrizio Romano को थोड़ा कम content मिलता था, but we would have figured out where he's going on the day, on the pitch, like the old school gladiators. But neither of the clubs wanted to do that. So now we have to deal with transfer specialists on Twitter to tell us that he is in fact going to Chelsea.
Speaking of Chelsea, Gunty92 has sent a message. He says, as a Chelsea fan, I'm excited for the first time in 2 years. What do you all think of Enzo?
तू बता यार, Prashant, you're the Chelsea fan. You tell me what you think of Enzo first.
I fucking love him, dude. He's awesome. I think, okay, so just compare his game from last season to this season now. I mean, at least from the first game only from what we've seen. There's a big difference, at least from him going back, like how you mentioned also, there's a big difference. He looks like somebody who wants to change at least something in the team.
Yeah.
It's not like, मैं आ गया, पैसा मिल गया, मैं खेलेगा, मैं चल के, I'll go home. He doesn't have that attitude. He's there to at least genuinely make a change. And that's nice. You want that in the club.
I think the first thing Pochettino must have told Enzo is, भाई तेरे पास World Cup winners medal है, वो याद रख. And suddenly Enzo like, हाँ यार, मैं मेसी के साथ खेला है, मैं खेल सकता है. And he started playing well. So already you can see the Pochettino effect come into play.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Last question is by Harish Mutlagan. He says, do you think football will eventually accept rolling subs? Imagine a well-rested star player in the last 15 minutes.
I think ये होना चाहिए. Like get the game as close to St. Andrews 5-a-side as possible. Make it more relatable to fans like us.
It will be the T20 version of cricket. Keep shifting it. Just so quick.
Yeah.
But there's already so many complaints from players, especially about this new stoppage time rule. Like Rafael Varane, for instance, was one who came out and anyway, उसका तो वो हर मतलब 7 game में टूट जाता है Varane. So him saying it is quite fitting that doesn't do ki, but you can't just add 10% more game time to the game, which is also fair. So I don't know. I think we were discussing this on Forward 2 as well. I think that Wenger's entire dream of like what was it, 30-minute or 40-minute halves. Might actually end up it might actually make sense to have 40 minutes plus then this 10 minutes of extra time that they're doing so that it becomes a net 90 overall.
Correct.
But then that requires such a huge rebrand of football because the 90 minutes only is gone.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they managed to do that.
So many podcasts and YouTube shows that have 90 minutes in their title.
Correct.
सब लोग को change करना पड़ेगा. Which is, I feel like उन लोग का lobby only will go to Egger and be like, भाई मत कर. Please, आपके ideas कृपया आपके पास ही रखिए.
Basically.
ये नहीं होगा हमसे.
And that's the end of our questions though. So
Awesome. Thank you so much for writing in. We always love listening to your questions and keep writing in for all the episodes. Right, let's go to the top of the Premier League. And I say top because we're now going to talk about Man City and Arsenal. City beat City Light 3-0. Because that's basically what Burnley is. Vincent Kompany is basically Pep Guardiola beta. Burnley is basically City Light.
is it?
And I'm all for it. They look fucking fantastic.
And it's weird to see Burnley trying to play football.
Exactly. Did you see the Paddy Power ad, by the way?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my god, it is so funny. Paddy Power have done a fantastic ad, and in that ad, they've basically got a Burnley fan. Imagine a typical old school white English uncle football fan. Bald,
Yes.
Burnley,
I'm
claret
seeing
and
it.
blue. You know, you're seeing it, right?
Yes.
And he's talking about how Burnley under Dyche was so good because they used to play long balls, they used to play direct, they used to be like fucking put it forward, tall guy to head it in. That's what we play. And he's so pissed off that now these guys are trying to play football apparently. This is not the Burnley way. And he's like really incensed about it. Fantastically done. But I feel like because it is Burnley playing this football, it makes it so much more fun.
Yeah, it's true. By the way, was the guy in the ad Ashley Barnes? Because he fits exactly the guy who would be giving the interviews. And guys, I'm irrelevant with this football. But no, he's got the thing.
वो उपमन्यु का मीम है ना, तो मैं क्या करूँ, जॉब छोड़ दूँ? As soon as company arrives, Ashley Barnes, तो मैं क्या करूँ, जॉब छोड़ दूँ?
Yes, आपको company छोड़ना पड़ेगा.
Oh, lovely. But they were no match. They were no match for Man City. Because City is just like, yeah, we might have won the treble last year. Business as usual. Nothing's changed. Last season never happened. We go again. And as a Man United fan, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, it's well, you just also have to admire the this machine that they are. Just this well-oiled, well-drilled. Yeah. And this Pep finds some new tactic वो घाट से निकाल देते हैं हर साल, where everybody and their dog is expecting चलो John Stones will start and come into midfield. Now no John Stones. Out of nowhere, straight old school 4-4-2 is being played.
4-4-2 but with 4 centre backs.
So, yeah. And this used to be like Pep has gone full circle and gone to FIFA tactics now. Where he's just gone into the entire FIFA and stay back on defense to all 4 back 4.
I think once Pep Guardiola goes through all the FIFA formations, no, he'll leave Man City. He's like, my job here is done. मैंने सब कर लिया. Also, I love the fact that you said well-oiled machine, Azeem. I think that was perfect choice of words.
Beautiful. Yes.
Very, very, very subtle, very nice. Not many people might have caught that, but it deserves a mention because it was like a Rahul Dravid cover drive. एकदम smooth था. बिल्कुल.
I think only positive, which is also, I mean, negative, but positive was that De Bruyne looks like he's going to be out for a bit. Also, very strange that he played 26 minutes of preseason. Yeah. And then Guardiola puts him in the starting lineup. And then before the match in the tunnel, he's like, bro, I don't know why I'm playing. I'm not fit. And then he's literally come and said him, like, bro, mera pata nahi, main last karega, nahi karega. I don't know. I'm just playing. And then it looks like knee, hamstring. It looked like it was some ligamental thing.
I think it was his hamstring because he had a problem with his hamstring in the Community Shield also. So I think it was a reoccurrence of that injury. But yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know what Pep is doing. You know how he used to tinker in the Champions League finals? Now he started tinkering in the first game of the season because he's like, "Arey, abhi to Champions League to jeet gaya. To abhi kidhar karega main tinkering? I need to tinker." So unfortunately, De Bruyne is at the end of that. But this is what I like about De Bruyne. He's always whining about things. He's whining about the extra added time. He's whining about playing against Wales in the Nations League. He's now whining about starting when he's not fit. De Bruyne's entire vibe is, अरे यार पर मैं तो क्यों कर रहा हूँ? That is his entire vibe.
It's like, I assist everyone, why no one assists me?
He should next time he scores a goal, he should take a leaf out of Balotelli's book and take his t-shirt off and say, why always me? He should be the one doing that. But in this game again, Haaland of the mark, 2 goals. Fucking क्या बोले अभी इसका? He has 89% ownership in FPL. I want to know what the fuck 11% of FPL managers are doing with themselves.
I am the one idiot who didn't captain him.
You didn't captain him, exactly.
But you still had him at least.
No, but tell us about this decision to not captain him, because that, I feel, needs to be known.
Because I think for everybody, you just saw this run of Haaland, no goals, like not looking good in preseason. Technically 9 matches played, no goals scored.
Yeah.
Then going up against, Pep protege, Vincent Kompany might have some great plan to deal with Haaland.
Yeah.
And then within 3 minutes, you're like, okay, chalo, this fucker's back now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I decided to go with full heart. I put Bruno as captain because I see Bruno having a fantastic year this year.
I feel
Yeah,
I feel like he will. Right, so let's go to the Arsenal game, because Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 2-1 at the Emirates, and Nketiah and Saka getting the goals for Arsenal. What a beautiful goal by Saka.
Sick.
Oof.
Damn
Perfect. Perfect fucking goal.
I think that was the goal of the week, for sure. At least for me.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was definitely... I mean, Sandro Tonali, that goal was also very, very good. Like, just in the opening, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever. Good team goal. But yeah, individually, I think that was a great finish.
Then Jared Bowen also.
I was going to say
Jared
Bowen.
Jared Bowen.
For me, Bowen was second for me, yeah.
Jared Bowen had a great goal as well. But overall, I think the first half for Arsenal was very, very good. They looked unbeatable in the first half, but in the second half, they looked very, very shaky. And that is something that Arteta is going to have to deal with as the season goes on.
That is their season. That was their season last year.
Yeah, that's true. In a microcosm, this first match was their season. That is very, very true. Old United boy Elanga got the assist for Taiwo Awoniyi's goal.
Yeah, good assist, man. Really
Very good assist.
Also playing with like full freedom now, no? Because Nottingham Forest, I think Elanga will be one of those who will shine at a smaller club.
Yeah.
Purely because I think it feels like he has the talent, but not necessarily that mentality or that ability to, or that cutting edge to do it in front of 72,000 people every week.
Yeah.
So I think if there's less pressure on him, he will do well. I think he'll be that. I think like a Nottingham Forest or like one of those clubs in that mold, like that sort of 10th to 14th wala bracket of clubs sort of suits is good for him.
And I feel like Steve Cooper's tactics are also very well suited to him, because Cooper also likes to play on the counter-attack. He likes to take his time. Even in this game when they were 2 goals down,
they still went, yeah.
They never looked like they were under pressure. Like, they looked very calm. They were like, हम लोग देखेंगे ना, आएगा एक तो goal आएगा, and we'll get back into it. They looked very assured of themselves. And I feel that is the type of playing style that will also suit Elanga. I just feel 10-20 million और मांगना चाहिए था उसके लिए. ऐसे retrospective, we should go and
at this point, just the fact that United is getting any money for players going is huge improvement. हम लोग ऐसा 5 million निकला Alex Telles वगैरह का, which is unheard of. So that's like that change you find in the sofa. That Alex Telles is 5 million. You would never expect to see it before.
Correct. Absolutely. Let's go to Newcastle also, because Newcastle had the biggest scoreline of the game week so far against Aston Villa. Now, this was supposed to be a fantastic game, because Aston Villa last year were fantastic. Newcastle, of course, finished 4th, got the Champions League spot. Great season for them. And Villa this season under Emery are definitely going to try and get into Europa League at least, if not Champions League, because Emery loves the Europa League. He loves European competitions. In the Conference League, I think they'll have a great run. They might even go on to win it. They were completely blown away by Newcastle. And I don't know about you, Azeem, but we were talking about how maybe Newcastle this season might find it tough, because that second season itch might come in. Everybody now knows about them, knows what they bring to the table, knows what Eddie Howe brings to the table as Newcastle manager. But they've just blown everybody out of the park. And this was a statement win against good opposition.
Oh, yeah. They have very, very good quality in that team. I think Tonali came in, fit in perfectly.
Yeah.
The guy who does not get enough credit in Newcastle for me is Isak. What a
Oof.
banging centre forward he is, dude.
Fantastic player.
How are people not talking about
I
him?
know.
Like for me, like I wish United had a forward like Isak.
Same.
Dude, that guy is lightning.
I was desperate to have Isak join Man United when we were looking for a striker 2 years ago. I was desperate. I was like, he's on the market. Why aren't we bidding for him? And Newcastle.
Yeah, because he has full Henry vibes going on right now for me.
Full on.
Like he has that incredible turn of pace, that lovely ability to do like just pull out one trick on the dime, and the finish is just always there. Superb.
And he's also versatile. He can play in the middle. He can play on the wings. He can play like across that line, and he brings so much to a squad. And I think he's definitely going to be a player to watch this season for Newcastle. He's going to make sure that their season is a very, very good one. There's a great start for Tonali as well. Of course, his transfer from AC Milan was a big deal. And of course, at AC Milan, it was his boyhood club. He did not want to leave AC Milan, but AC Milan had to sell him because they had financial issues and he was a saleable asset. And as soon as he scored that goal, Newcastle United tweeted a picture of him saying, he doesn't really want to be here. Perfect shithousery. I love it when football clubs use social media to their advantage. It's great to see. It's great to see that good content creators are getting great jobs at these Premier League clubs. Fantastic stuff. But Aston Villa, not a great day at the office for them. I think the Tyrone Mings injury also kind of destabilized them a little.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad injury, and I hope he comes back soon, but it looks like an ACL, and it looks like a complete tear of the ACL at that. And I feel like he's going to be out for 6-7 months easy, and that's going to be a problem because he was so bad last season and the season before that. He was so unreliable. But the way Aston Villa crumbled after he was taken off shows how important he is to that unit just to keep them together. It's ridiculous. Like I don't understand it. But that was definitely the turning point for them, right?
I think so. But like you mentioned, like, I think definitely last season we saw like so many errors he had at the back, so many, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it is like a physical presence or is it something like. I don't see him to be someone who's actually got like a really strong physical presence in the game. I don't think that was a thing.
He's massive, dude. He's a big fucker.
No, not that way. I mean, like I think because. I don't
He's
know.
not enough of a leader, is that what you're saying?
Maybe something at that level. But he might just, I don't know, maybe just have some sort of like, at least you have like some sort of a safe ground, at least if he's at the back. Just like, at least koi to hai piche, like someone.
Right.
But maybe they didn't have somebody else at the back or someone else reliable. Maybe that way. I don't know.
I mean, if you're talking about stability at the back, we have to talk about Emi Martinez because that is what he definitely does not bring.
What was that? What was that?
On Almiron.
Come on.
Do you guys think it was a red? Azeem, I'll start with you. Do you think that deserved a red card?
I mean, you can see why it's a red, but you can also see why it's a yellow. I mean, it's an orange card. You know, it's one of those.
Yeah. Prashant, what about you?
I think it should be a red, man. Come on.
I think it should be a red only because it's Martinez.
Yeah, correct. That's no for sure.
It should be a red only because it's Martinez, and I wanted the referee to do that little crouch thing with the trophy that he did at the World Cup. I wanted the referee to give him the card like that. It's like, ye le. Because it's Martinez. But technically speaking, it was a yellow card. Like, this is you have to commend him for this. His level of shithousery is so well planned. He knows exactly when he's going to be able to get away with it. And that's when he does it. So, well done to Martinez.
Smooth criminal.
Absolutely. Absolute smooth criminal. Let's go to Luton because we were talking about the Sandless beached Brighton. They beat Luton Town 4-1. This was supposed to be a fantastic debut into the Premier League for Luton Town. But it was a harsh wake-up call saying the Premier League is here and you probably are not ready for it. I feel bad because I really want them to survive this season, but it looks like they're nailed on for relegation.
I think the championship needs to have some kind of a program. When that last team in the playoffs qualifies, they should just intervene, be like, guys, please नहीं होने वाले तुम लोग से, थोड़ा कुछ caliber वाला टीम को जाने दो, ये क्या है, तुम लोग कैसा खेलने वाले?
You know how ऐसे वेबसाइट में साइन इन करने से पहले कैप्चा आता है, वो टीम को एक इन पर्सन कैप्चा देना चाहिए, like are you sure you want to do this? Think about it.
Yes.
Think about if you can manage.
Please click on all images that have goal scorer in them.
Yeah. But it does look like they're going to go down. But on the other side, for Brighton, fantastic display from them as well. De Zerbi doesn't give a fuck if Caicedo's going. Doesn't give a fuck if they've already got the Caicedo replacement lined up. And they're like, हाँ, तेरे लिए इतना फी देंगे, तेरे को इतना कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देंगे, सब agreed है, cool. Let's not sign till Caicedo's fucked off. Once Caicedo's fucked off, we will sign you. So it's literally waiting in the wings. It's beautiful how they operate.
Yeah, and even the striker that they got, the Ivorian striker who they signed, I forget his name now.
Adingra.
But he's come in, Adingra, that's the name. He's come in, he slotted in. Yeah, he scored. And कहाँ से लेके आते हैं? Like all these people who were there, the fringe players of last season, now suddenly all your Encizos and all of these guys are just like part of the woodwork. The one guy who I'm amazed nobody tries to sign is the Solly March, because he keeps popping up and getting the goals.
But I feel, I'll tell you what,
FPL points.
I'll tell you what the thing is. I feel like Solly March is not a player who will do better at a different club, because he is Brighton through and through, and I feel like he's gelled with De Zerbi. Because even under Chris Hughton and maybe to a certain extent under Potter also, he wasn't really like a starter. He was a fringe player. He used to come in the second half because tired legs. That's when he would come in, he'd do a job. He was there, James Milner. He was there to like stabilize everything. But since De Zerbi has come in, De Zerbi has changed him into this attacking wing-back sort of hybrid role where he's just all action all the time. And that seems to have just clicked. And that is one of the biggest success stories that De Zerbi has had at Brighton, taking a guy like Solly March and making him into this fantastic player. I feel the player that nobody is going for and they should is Evan Ferguson, man. Fuck, what a player. That is a striker I would love to see at Man United.
This assembly line they have is like, I think they are like English Ajax at this point. They just keep putting together these crazy players out of nowhere.
Absolutely. Right. All right. Before we go to the Man United game to preview that, Akash isn't here and he has requested us, even in the questions, which we didn't read out, and even in like personal chat separately, saying, I'm sorry I can't be there, but please bitch about VAR, because Everton were robbed at Fulham. Fulham winning 1-0, but Everton had a goal disallowed because apparently Tarkowski fouled Burnley. Now, Azeem, did you see that instance?
No, so I didn't see that particular foul, but I think Everton had enough chances on their own to win that game, which they didn't take.
They only have chances, they don't have finishers.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so which is why I think they need Lukaku back at this point to score less of those chances.
Prashant, did you see that incident? Because I've seen it and I don't know what Tarkowski could have done. It wasn't his fault at all. He was literally just standing. Lino went and jumped on him, tried to catch the ball, dropped the ball, and then fell over and said he was fouled. So I don't know what Tarkowski could have done, but I feel like it was disallowed and it was given a foul purely on the technicality of the rule that says that as soon as the keeper has his hands on the ball, any touch on the keeper is a foul. Like, they are so ridiculously protected keepers that just
on
purely
paper.
on the basis of that technique.
It's because it is written on paper. There is no concept of whether it is a soft foul, what foul. Foul's a foul.
Yeah, but I feel like Everton were hard done by in that, and I like.
There was also that thing of was it the case of the referee blowing the whistle before the ball had gone in as well, that they couldn't overturn it because of that?
I don't remember this. No, I don't know. Maybe.
I remember seeing some goal like this in the highlights, which I thought it may have been this one, where like the foul has happened, or the alleged foul has happened on the keeper. The guy's taken the shot. And before the ball's gone in, the whistle is already gone. So, which is why you can't overturn it.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like in general, referees just like to fuck over Everton. And Everton fans just like to act like referees are fucking them over. It's the vicious cycle of the Premier League. So, it'll be interesting to see if they stay in the Premier League this season, because it is going to be very, very tough for them. Basis the transfer window they've had. Right, now before we end the show, we will quickly do a preview on United versus Wolves. Of course, this episode is going out on Tuesday, so by the time you're listening to this, the result is already out. But we have Azeem here, who's also a United fan, so we should talk about this. You said at the start of the episode how excited you are about this season. Is Wolves at home the perfect fixture to kick off this season?
No, because Wolves are the only team in history who can come to United and fucking have new manager bounce on the first game of the season.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side. I'm like, they had Lopetegui, who was a fantastic manager, who's been sacked. And now they've got Gary O'Neill, who's not as good as Lopetegui, although good because he saved Bournemouth last season. So I feel like there is a chance that we do well. But where do you think the goals are going to come from for United? Because you said Bruno, you've captained Bruno in your FPL. Is there anybody else?
Rashford obviously is going to be a threat. It depends on what I don't think we have starting lineup yet, but I'm very excited about. I mean, obviously until Højlund is fit. For me, the top three has to be Rashford, Garnacho, and Anthony. I think there is no argument about that. They look so good together. Garnacho really looks like he's like made a step up in just this preseason from what I've watched him. Like even though United's results, we have been playing mostly reserve teams that have had the bad results. But like generally, when we played the first teams apart from the Real Madrid game, we've largely done well. That debacle that was against Borussia Dortmund with the crazy goals that we got. But yeah, I'm excited to see, obviously, firsthand in like competitive games, the impact that Onana has on the build-up. We've already started seeing instances of just how tactically it makes such a huge difference that now teams are a little scared to come and press United because they're like, they're just going to be able to pass their way out because you've got Onana, you've got Martinez, you've got Shaw on the side, you've got potentially a Dalot as well who can like get out of these positions and just immediately progress the ball higher up the field. So that's great. You've got. I'm interested to see Mount as well. He's shown glimpses of what he can do this season. It was a bit unfortunate to not score one of his goals in preseason, the one which he sort of scuffed on the line. That for me, that front three of Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, if they are on form and firing, that's really an exciting front three for me. We have good like depth as well on the bench. Like you got options that you can bring off the bench to change the game, which we haven't had traditionally over the years. Hopefully, we'll manage to get the Amrabat in, which I think is a very important signing to have backup for Casemiro as well. But this game, I expect Bruno to be a lot freer in the way he plays, particularly just because he's got a more energetic player next to him now, as opposed to like you had Eriksen earlier, who great on the ball, great vision, but lots of physical limitation. I think with Mount, you're getting a really big upgrade on him and a change of system as well. It's not double pivot anymore. It's like 2-8s. So it's going to be a lot more progressive, lot more creative, lot more exciting, I think, to see. And Wolves, again, have lost. I think they're one of my tips to go down this season. They've lost Ruben Neves. I think is a huge loss for them. Will be interesting. I hope and pray that we manage to just get a nice, simple routine 2-0, 3-0 and move on. But that's what I'm hoping for.
What's your prediction?
Man, I'll go with 2-0.
Yeah, I think 2-0 is my prediction as well. So, fingers crossed that does happen. And with that, it is time to end this episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this episode of The Corner Flag. If you'd like to follow us and tell us what you thought about this episode or any other episode, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Prashant on Instagram at
Prash224.
You can find Azeem on Instagram at
Azeem Banatwalla.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Amogh and Prashant. You can also find Azeem's show 442 on YouTube at
it's 442. Two fours and TWO.
Just search for 2 4s and TWO and you'll see 442. But let's be honest, I feel like you guys already follow him because he's got 20,000 followers. So a large chunk of our fan base is also your fan base, Azeem. So next time you're doing 442, do it the other way. that will help us.
Come.
So you can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube now at @CornerFlagPod. do visit our website, thecornerflag.in. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from, including YouTube. Once again, go to YouTube, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button.
तोड़ दो उसको एकदम
तोड़ दो, absolutely तोड़ दो. Shout out to Kaizad Garda, who has composed our theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Prashant.
Bye, guys.
Say bye, Azeem.
Farewell.
And it's bye from me.
For America's climate goals, investing in clean energy adds up. But what doesn't add up is an additionality requirement for clean hydrogen. Additionality would put an unnecessary and inequitable burden on domestic clean hydrogen producers and have serious consequences for America. America needs clean hydrogen, but an additionality requirement just doesn't add up. Get the facts at cleanhydrogentoday.org. Paid for by the Fuel Cell and Hydrogen Energy Association.